start speaking truth over yourself on a regular basis. Also, be positive and speak positivity over your life. Not just speak truth and stand in your truth, but speak positivity. Instead of thinking about what didn't work, think about what actually did work that day. Because I promise you, for everything that didn't go your way on a particular day or in a particular period of your life, there were 1,000 things that went great. And for one, you're alive to actually see it. Hello, if you're new here, I'm Andrea Patrick, the BU Boss, and I bring real talk and real tips to achieve real business and personal success that happens when you're unapologetically you. Now, instead of telling you what not to do today, I'm going to share what to do to prevent others from controlling your feelings, okay? Or the way you feel about yourself. In a previous video, I talked about your value versus your worth. If you have not seen that video, we will put a card right up here linking it so that you can check it out. I revealed the importance of knowing and standing in your truth in that video. We have value, but sometimes we allow other people's opinions of us to determine our worth, like whether or not they think we're worthy. So in that video, I am walking all through that, okay? And you should check it out. I want to talk about today in this video the importance of living intentionally by not allowing others to control the way you feel about yourself. So first video was not letting other people dictate your value because they may or may not think you're worthy of what it is you're doing. This video, we're talking about not allowing other people to steal your joy, not allowing them to make you feel less than about yourself. So I have 6 things that I'm going to cover today pretty quickly. So if that sounds like something that you want to know more about, keep watching. All right, let's dive right in. The very first thing I want you to do is believe in yourself, okay? So start speaking truth over yourself. We've also gone through the idea of journaling, and I talked to you about my idea is to sit back in the evening and reflect on my day versus getting started with my journaling first thing in the morning where I'm doing like a brain dump and sort of just thinking about what had happened. I think the idea of practicing gratitude and sort of looking at what I did for that day and whether or not it was connected to the overall goals I have is a way to really start speaking truth into myself, because at the end of the day, I can look at what I did that day, be proud of it, determine how productive I was, make adjustments for the next day, so forth and so on. So start speaking truth over yourself on a regular basis. Also, be positive and speak positivity over your life. Not just speak truth and stand in your truth, but speak positivity. Instead of thinking about what didn't work, think about what actually did work that day. Or instead of looking at your glass half empty, look at it as half full, because I promise you, for everything that didn't go your way on a particular day or in a particular period of your life, there were 1,000 things that went great. And for one, you're alive to actually see it. So if nothing else, stand on that and be positive, have positive thoughts. Now, I have to admit, I struggle with this one myself. I cannot lie. It's hard because a lot of stuff frustrates me. And one of the things that I'm trying to do for myself this year is eliminate the words that frustrates me or that gets on my nerves or that is really irritating. And then my best friend Shelby told me to get rid of hate. I hate that, or I hate it when that happens. So I'm working on that. And instead of saying those things which are negative, I'm looking at the positive. So flipping it on its side and saying something positive instead. Well, you know what? At least I have this. Or you know what? I'm still grateful for that. That is helpful. And then allowing yourself to have your desires and your dreams. Don't let people dim your shine. If you have a dream or if you have a belief in yourself or something that you want to do, a goal that you've set, believe in yourself. Believe what you're saying. Believe what you're trying to do, and then take the steps to actually start achieving it. The next thing, if you want to really dive into living intentionally by not allowing other people to steal your joy, it's time for you to start accepting consequences, okay? It was around the age of 30. If you've been on, if you're an OG follower or if you've been inside my program, Project CEO, you've heard me talk about my 30th birthday or what happened around my 30s. And basically what happened was I came to the realization that I was an adult, and as long as I could deal with the consequences of my actions, I could do what I wanted to do, right? And I think that is a huge eye-opening revelation for a lot of people. We believe we're adults, right? We think that we are adults, and we think because we have a lot of bills and we're paying them that we're mature individuals and, we've all got it together. Well, the truth is, not too many of us really know what it means to be authentic and to live and stand in our truth. Many of us are walking around life copying or imitating what we see other people doing instead of being unapologetically ourselves. Now, I started talking about this because of what happened to me, the revelation that I had, the epiphany I had around my 30th birthday. And my entire programs and services, the personal branding that I do really stems from this revelation. When you recognize who you are and what you need to do and be your best, and you are unapologetically in pursuit of that, then you know that it's important for you to accept the consequences of your actions. And when you think about that and you live within your personal framework, you're going to ensure that, what you're doing is in line with who you are and the goals that you set for yourself. So the likelihood that your consequences are going to be dire or, devastating are low. But that's because you're thinking about things more, like you are being more intentional, more purposeful in your actions, so that when you do things, it's much easier for you to accept consequences because you're like, okay, well, all right, I'm standing in my truth. For me, I really try to practice not saying things to people that I cannot repeat. That eliminates a lot of gossip, right? Because if I'm not willing to repeat myself, if I'm talking about someone else and I'm not willing to repeat myself to that person, guess what? That's gossip. I'm not willing to deal with the consequences of my actions. So instead of 9 times out of 10 for me, if I'm saying it to someone else, I've already said it to the person and I don't have anything to worry about. If I haven't said it to the person, it's definitely something that I do not mind repeating. Sometimes the conversations are a little bit uncomfortable, but I don't mind. I won't say it if I am afraid to repeat it. The next thing you can do if you want to live intentionally and not allow other people to control the way you feel about yourself or steal your joy is to discover your value. Now, we are talking about this here on the channel. The goal here is to help you. I'm bringing you, like I said, real talk, real tips to achieve real business and personal success that happens when you're unapologetically you. That's what we're talking about here on this channel. So you need to discover your value and really understand, number one, that you are enough. You are where you are supposed to be. If you're not where you want to be, that's not a problem. It's about, are you where you're supposed to be? It seems like if you're not where you want to be, that there are lessons to be learned, there are steps to be taken. So your goal, your job should be to understand the lessons and to take the steps. But whatever you are trying to achieve and wherever you are in the moment, you're where you're supposed to be, because you either haven't done enough to get where you want to go, or there is a lesson or some education you need that is going to help you get there. And where you are right now is designed to help you identify that and so that you can meet that need. So don't be discouraged, but definitely understand what your value is. And don't allow people to make you feel like you're not as good or you're not going to make it. You are as unique as a snowflake. I have said this many times. You are the sum of your influence, experience, perspective, and passion. And as long as you recognize that, you also have to recognize that no one else on earth, including a sibling, has the exact same combination of those things as you. So that eliminates competition. It should eliminate comparison because no one's like you. So who can you compare yourself to, right? So know that you're enough and you have what you need. Also, you have value, okay? You have something to offer this world. If you have an idea, even if there are other people with that same idea, and let's be honest, most businesses have other people who do the exact same thing, right? So you can't be a realtor, right, and think that you're the only realtor on earth. You can't sell widgets and think that you're the only person on the planet that sells widgets, okay? No matter how niche down your service is, there's someone else who does something exactly like what you do or similar to what you do, or they're serving the same audience as you. But again, if you go back to that snowflake thing that I just talked about, no one has the exact same combination. So even if you are doing something similar to what someone else is doing, your perspective on that thing The way you approach it is going to be different. Your personality is different. And I said this many times before, people don't care about your widget, they care about you. People don't care what you know until they know that you care. So building relationships and letting people in, being a little more transparent, is what is going to differentiate you from your competition. So just know that you need to discover your value. Next, trust your strength. You know what you need to do and be your best. Start operating in that zone of genius. This is going to eliminate that second guessing and getting frustrated from doing something that really isn't in your wheelhouse. Also, it's going to save you money, right? It's going to save in your self-esteem, right? Because you are doing the thing that you know you do well, okay? So if you start trusting that strength that you have, that expertise that you have, knowing that your perspective, your influence, your passion, all of those things are different. Your experience, that makes you very different, very unique. Walk and own and have confidence in the expertise and the strengths that you're bringing to the table. Now, the next thing, number 5, is that you really need to know what your triggers are here. Now, what is it that just grinds your gears and stalls your performance? You know, for me, I just don't like passive aggressive behavior. It really does send me over the edge, and I really have to be mindful of my facial expressions, be mindful of my tone of voice, be mindful of my actions when that happens. So that is a trigger for me. You also need to know that these triggers, they are what have a negative impact on your confidence sometimes too, because maybe someone does something and it reminds you, that trigger is a reminder of something else that made you feel less than. A trigger is what causes you to second guess yourself or lose trust in other people, depending on why that trigger exists. Okay, so your triggers, by definition, or my definition, are the things that start negative reactions for you, things that send you to a place that are not productive. Okay, my advice to you here is, when you know your triggers, create a game plan that can help you overcome them or help you change the behavior, manage the behavior once you have been triggered. So that's my advice. And then lastly, if you want to live intentionally and not allow other people to steal your joy, is to learn how to accommodate your limitations. This means learn how to delegate. If something is not in your wheelhouse, if you are not operating, if it is not in your zone of genius, learn how to delegate. Okay, if you can't delegate, recognize that this might be an area for growth, an area of growth for you. And maybe it's time for you to start, logging into your Skillshare, going to your library, purchasing that course, reading that book, whatever it is. Maybe that's the opportunity. Or you need to allow other people in. Sometimes you have people in your circle of influence that can help you, but because you're being so prideful, you're not able to get the help that you need. Acknowledge your limitations and then accommodate them. If there's someone in your circle that can help you, that has the knowledge, they say they're willing, let them, okay? They can help you when you need it. All right, that's it. These are my 6 tips that are going to help you live intentionally and stop allowing other people to control your joy. If you believe in yourself, accept your consequences, discover your value within, trust the strengths that you have, know what your triggers are, and you accommodate your limitations, odds are people aren't going to be able to control the way you feel, because you are going to set the parameters, manage the boundaries, manage expectations, and all of the things that are going to keep you operating within your personal framework. And if you don't know what that is, go back and watch my video on the 4 pillars of your personal framework. We'll put that right up here in the card so that you can go check that out. And there are all kinds of other videos that you can watch here on my channel that are going to help you do exactly what I said. They're going to give you real talk, real tips to achieve real business and personal success that happens when you are unapologetically you. I hope you like this video. Please give it a big thumbs up. Leave a comment below and tell me your thoughts. Tell me some stuff that you might be interested in. Tell me what you think about this video. I want to hear it from you. Also, be sure to look down in the description box. There are all kinds of links to things that I think could be very beneficial. One of them is my Be You guide, which is amazing to help you start putting some of these guardrails up for yourself. And then also the Project CEO program, get on the wait list for that. Be in the room when things begin to drop about that program, because you're going to want to learn about it. But that Be You Guide is a great tool to help you start with some of the things that we're talking about here and get your mindset going. So anyway, I hope you like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.